My friend bought this very cute little fan from Costco for $29. So if you have no power, you can run a small fan like this on a battery pack with a small inverter. Okay, I got a bunch of small power supplies here that are useful in a power outage. Some of my friends and relatives on Long Island and even parts of New York City are still out of power because of Tropical Storm Isaiah. So this kind of stuff would be useful. Some of these are regular lead acid battery or AGM battery, and this type here is lithium ion battery. They range from anywhere from 10 amps to 20 amps at 12 volt. So like this would be like 120 watts. So they're useful because for lighting, this would last a few days if you use a light that is power efficient, like this kind of light. This one I like very much, but I can't find them anymore. This is a GOTT LED light. Uses only 4 watts, and there's a plug here. Uses 13.2 volt, but it will work at 12 volt. So let me just demonstrate. This is a 12 volt 10 amp power supply, and I just plug it in here. Oh, let's just turn it on. So this is LED light that can light up a whole room for like a couple of days if you are running it continuously. Obviously, you're just going to run it a few hours a day. So this would be very useful. Right? So for lighting, right, very useful. I have a USB adapter. This is like a buck converter, converts from 12 volt to 5 volt USB, so you can charge your cell phone or run something small like an iPad or something for many hours. So this would plug in using XT60 connector and plug it into the power pack. Right, runs for hours. And then I also hooked up a computer fan. So if you're hot, you just plug it in to your fan, switch it on, and you have some ventilation for hours and hours and hours. This draws very little power, 2-3 watts. So this is 120 watts, so many hours, right? So very useful in powering your cell phone, your lighting, anything that needs 12 volt. And then if you have like a converter, I forgot to bring up my boost buck converter, that you can change it practically to any voltage from like 5 volts to 36 volt. So you can do that with a power pack like that. Or you can use the more traditional one like this one here. This is a 7.5 amp hour battery. this one here, and it has a inverter built in. So you just plug in your socket here, right? This is a LED light. This is like 10 watt. This uses more electricity than the one I just used before, that I had shown before. So you plug it in here. You can invert up to 60 watts AC, so you can plug in your laptop, right? And then, whoa, that light is very bright. Again, it's the same kind of light that you use on a normal day that can light up a whole room. And this would have like 70 to 80 watts of powers, and you can use this again for 3 hours a day, and then the next morning you bring it outside to recharge it. And if you use like 100 watt solar panel, you can recharge it in a couple of hours. So for the rest of the night, you have some electricity, right? So this is entirely portable. You can bring it camping, bring it to your backyard, bring it to your basement. If anywhere that you don't have power, you can bring it over there. And I made actually several of these power packs. They all have BMS. Basically, they are 3 in series and 4 in parallel. Some of them are 5 in parallel. And I have a charge controller outside that can charge us up. The charge controller is set up to charge a battery no more than 12.5 volt, and it won't overcharge. So again, if you have a couple of 100 watt solar panel outside, you can charge all these stuff up in a couple of hours on a sunny day, and you have plenty of portable power to use at night. Like this is another set of battery. This is 20 amps. This one here uses the 26650. It's a bigger power pack than the 18650. So this is like 2 of this would be like 10 amps at 3.6 volt. So this power pack is 20 amps. So 20 amps is 200 something watts. Again, if you have something that use 1 watt, you can run that for 240 hours. So that's how useful they are, right? This, remember, you can run AC stuff up to 60 watts or so, right? You can even use like a immersion heater with something like this, and you can boil a small cup of water if you need to. You will need an inverter. I didn't bring that up. You can buy a small 200 watt DC to AC inverter, and you can boil a cup of water for tea or coffee, instant coffee maybe. So very useful stuff. So another useful item I want to show you. This is a LED single color controller that when I bought my LED real light, it came with that. But you can also repurpose it to use it as a remote control for your 12 volt to, I think from 5 volt to 24 volt stuff. So right now I have it connected to my 12 volt fan. So if I want to turn on my fan, so basically you just plug your power supply, that's the power supply, into the wall, and you plug your power supply into the controller here, and from the controller you can plug it into the fan or whatever you want to, or light or whatever you want to control, and then you just press your remote. This is the IR or the receiver here. So I think you hear the 12-volt fan is on. And I can also use my power pack here to run the fan. So what fan am I running is, let me see here, this is the fan that I'm running. For 12 volt, this is a very powerful fan, and it can cool your whole room. And you can run that for hours with this power pack here. Or if you have power and on a regular day you can save energy by using this kind of small fan. You can run it for hours and hours and have it recharge with your solar panel in the daytime. So this would be great stuff to use on a day that when you don't have power. Of course, you're not going to have AC, you're not going to be able to run anything substantial. For that, you would need a generator, or you can put in parallel a bunch of these power supplies, then you can run something a bit more powerful. So that's fine. Today is Saturday. I think her power will probably come back on Sunday.